Hi everyone, it's Annie. Alrighty, so today we're gonna repot the Promenia orchid. It still has a few flowers as you can see, but they're kind of on their way out. And the old flowers have dried off already, so it's a good time to repot it because I really don't like the media it's potted in. There's a lot of sphagnum moss here. I'm not sure if there are any snails or stuff like that, so I just want to make sure that everything is okay. And I decided to take you along because this is a new orchid even for me. And yeah, I am very curious to see how the roots look like. And also we're gonna divide this orchid because I do want to share it. So alrighty, as you are already familiar with my technique, we're gonna try to squeeze the pot so we get the roots to detach from the sides of the pot. Wow, okay, this orchid does not look bad, as you can see. So this is the root system. This is how it looks like. The roots are pretty thick. I was expecting very fine roots, but no, this orchid seems to have quite thick roots. Now, a little update, the flowers don't smell bad. It was just the media, so it's a little bit old. And also I have some decomposing roots right here. So yeah, the flowers actually don't smell bad. They're very lightly fragrant, kind of floral. Nothing that will blow you away, but it is nice. It's a nice bonus to this orchid. So as you can see, I do have some new growth starting and some new roots, so definitely it is time to repot this orchid. So let's try to remove the sphagnum moss. And of course, because this orchid has quite a lot of roots, for this procedure I will use the tweezers. Okay, so I got my trusty tweezers. I sterilized it prior to working with this orchid. I also sterilized the scissors that I'm gonna use. I'm actually using bleach right now. It's the type you use to sterilize bathrooms. And if that doesn't sterilize your tools, I don't know what will. So you can sterilize tools with alcohol or bleach or a torch, or you can boil them, whatever feels comfortable to you. I am using bleach. So alrighty, what I'm gonna do now is try to gently remove the sphagnum moss from between the roots. This will take a while. I always hate sphagnum moss. But yeah, it will take a while, but it's in the benefit of the orchid to remove as much of the old media as possible. I'm a bit lucky because these roots are not thin, so that's good. If you don't know, this type of orchid is related to Zygopetalum orchids, so that's why the very strong root system. The care as well is very similar to Zygopetalum orchids as far as I know. It is not allowed to dry out, that's why it is potted in pure sphagnum moss. So yeah, I'm gonna remove the old sphagnum moss as much as I can and I'll come back when I'm done. Okay, so I'm not done yet with removing the old sphagnum moss, but I just want to make the division now just to make my life easier. So the way I'm gonna do this is try to find a natural division point for this orchid, and luckily I did find one and it's pretty easy. So what I'm gonna do is try to pull on the orchid. Hopefully I will not damage the roots because I have to tell you these roots are so brittle and the orchid is not big. So I'm gonna try to pull it. If I can't do it, I might get a knife, but I think I can. So there we are. This is the natural division point. The problem is there is still some moss. So let's see if this can come out like this. If not, I have to remove some more sphagnum moss. But oh, there you go. It actually came off. It's okay if you damage a few roots in the process. It will pull through. So this is the young division that I made, and yeah, this will go to one of my friends. It has some new growth sprouting, also back bulbs, and quite a few roots. I think this is a good division. So alrighty, I will return when I'm back with cleaning the old sphagnum moss. I will go and wash the roots as well, and also spray them with hydrogen peroxide, and I'll come back when I'm done to pot the orchid in a new pot. Okay, we're back. This is my orchid, all washed and sterilized. I did manage to snap a few root tips. That's alright though. The roots are incredibly brittle on this one. So yeah, I have to be careful when I pot it up right now. And because it is so tiny, there's no way for me to grab it from the top. So anyway, What I will be using for this orchid is, of course, a clear pot. I will not add the ventilation holes because this is such a tiny pot and this orchid has quite a lot of roots, and I have a feeling it will produce even more. So it will dry up very, very fast, and this orchid needs to stay moist. So for this reason, I will not add the ventilation holes to this particular pot. It also has an air cone here, so that's going to be extra ventilation as well in the middle. So really there's no need this time. What I'm going to be using is a mixture of bark and sphagnum moss. I will try to put more bark on the bottom for extra drainage and more moss on the top. So let's do this. Let's add a layer of bark and a little bit of sphagnum moss on the bottom. And now, again, because this orchid has a ton of roots, I'll add some media right in the center. It's gonna be a mixture of bark and sphagnum moss. Somebody actually asked me why I don't pre-soak my media. It is just a personal taste. It's if you want to pre-soak your media, there's nothing wrong with that. If you feel better, if you work better with it, it's okay. I personally don't. Sometimes I pre-moisten it, I don't know. I kind of wing it as I go. So alrighty, I have some media in the center here. Oh my goodness, I'm so scared to touch these roots. So I'm gonna place my orchid in the pot like so. Oh, this is actually a very, very good size for the pot. And because I have growth all around, I will pretty much center it. I seem to have less growths on this side, so maybe like so, but it is quite centered. So what I'm gonna do now, hopefully I'm in the frame, is just add media around the orchid. Mainly sphagnum moss actually, but a few pieces of bark as well. So here we are, this is the finished result. I also watered the orchids. You cannot see in this pot, but I've used the same method. Just bark on the bottom and then more sphagnum moss for more moisture. Usually the top of a pot dries faster than the bottom. So this is how they look like. They do have quite a few nice roots. They are very lovely plants, and I think they will do quite well. However, if you deal with this type of orchid, be very, very careful with the root system. I don't think I ever encountered an orchid with such brittle roots. They will snap right away, and I snapped quite a few of them. But luckily, this orchid has a lot of roots. So alrighty, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. If you want to see more videos from me, don't forget to subscribe. You can leave me comments, suggestions, and questions in the comment section below. And if you just want to stay in touch with me, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram. I will see you next time. Bye!